Hello, I hope you're well and how you're having a good week. So, conversation in this group has been predominantly around organic growth, which is brilliant. And hopefully, the post that I posted yesterday will help a little bit in terms of, some people use combined strategies to grow their platforms. So, whether that's organic plus paid, just to kind of sort of build up that momentum and to help reach people slightly quicker. If you're focusing just on organic, there is a cost to that, and that's your time currency. So what do I mean by that? I mean that, you're going to need to spend the time interacting with people in other groups. So hopefully you can attract them to your page or your platforms, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, it doesn't matter. You're going to need to actually be spending time also, working on your content and making sure that you're consistent and that you're posting every day, that there's a clear call to action, all of those kind of things. So it's a real commitment in order to be able to kind of increase your organic growth, really. And don't forget, the reason for that is because there are billions of people out there now looking at social media on their phones, mainly, with lots and lots of content being shown, and in order to give your content the chance to actually be placed in front of them, you need to be posting consistently. One of the things that I talk about an awful lot, and I consult on this in terms of when I'm building communities for some of the businesses that I consult for, is that there's actually some strategy or some techniques behind building a community. So when I talk about community, for some people it's a Facebook page, it's an Instagram page, but for me, community is all of the different touch points within your business, right? So it's the different touch points that your customer will find you and learn about you and understand what you have to offer. Okay, so whether that's your website, whether that's your Instagram page or your Pinterest page, whether that's your email list, whether it's your blog, any of the assets that you use around your business to help engage people and help them understand what your brand is to offer. So when you're looking at kind of all of those touch points and how they all work together and how you actually then increase the reach, so you push out the reach of what you do as a business, there are 6 principles that I talk about quite a lot. And the first is trust. Okay, so basically, people look to be able to kind of make sure that that they can trust what you're saying. Because there's a lot of people out there that are doing things and saying things that aren't true, right? So if somebody's going to spend their valuable time with you and their valuable time in terms of investing their time into your communities, they're going to want to make sure that they understand what you do and they can trust what you do. And trust is intrinsically linked with the second principle, which is authenticity. So I'm not saying, by the way, that when you're authentic, you need to show up and tell everyone what you've had for breakfast, lunch and dinner. But you might want to share some stories. You might want to share things that actually, the reasons why you started your business, why it means so much. You might want to share things about kind of, why you're qualified, or, why you've got a particular passion about that project or that product or service that you're creating. So trust and authenticity, they're the first 2 principles, and they, like I said, they work very closely together. And people look for that, right? They look to make sure that, is what you're saying true to them? Can they trust it? And is what they're reading authentic? Do you come across as somebody, are you authentically representing yourself and your business? Okay, and that's one of the biggest things online at the moment, especially as the next generation comes through. They're now looking for authenticity in terms of where they invest their time. Authenticity is also represented by social good. Okay, so social good could be things that you're doing for charity. It could be things that you're giving back, giving to them, so authenticity is very closely linked with social good. And that's why now there's a huge boom around, and I know that there's always been a boom, but you'll notice that it's exploded even more so around plastic free, around vegetarianism and veganism and all of those kind of things, doing good things for the planet. I've got one brand at the moment that I'm working with who has absolutely exploded on Instagram because they're doing plastic-free shampoo, right? And absolutely amazing what Emma is doing at Beauty Cubes. And if you haven't, do go and have a look because it's awesome. And, that product has exploded because actually people can trust them because she's got her company behind Beauty Cubes. She was already there doing other things, other products. You know, there is a mission there, so it's authentic and it aligns with people's values, which then links into the third principle, which is relatability. People can relate to the product or service that Emma is producing through Beauty Cubes. So have a look at terms of what you are creating. Can people relate to it? If it's handmade, you know, talk to people about handmade, talk to people about small business and supporting small business, and, you know, everything is happening on the high street at the moment. There are all these different angles that you could use to actually promote handmade. If you're talking about things like consulting or your coaching or anything like that, you know, then you'll be looking at things around kind of expanding your knowledge and empowering people to go and do things for themselves. So sharing is caring and all of that. So there are lots of different things that you can do around the concept of your business to bring people into your world, and help them to relate to what it is that you're building. You know, so far we've got trust, build trust, and make sure you're representing yourself and your brand authentically as well. And then the third one at the moment is relatability. So ensure that people can relate to you know, the core principles or your mission, right? Your goal, what it is that you're doing with your business. The fourth one is expertise, and that's an interesting one because a lot of people are saying, but I'm not an expert. And I'm like, the fact that you are running a business within your niche, or you're creating a product to sell, you are an expert, right? You don't need to have a squillion qualifications to be an expert. You bring a lot to the table through your business, and it's that expertise that people want to learn and people want to follow and support. Okay, you know, when you're creating again a handmade product, that takes time. That's an expert. You know, whether like Catherine is her business predominantly dried flowers, she is an expert in that area because she has been creating these beautiful wreaths and beautiful resin letters and things with dried flowers in them. You know, if you have a look at somebody like Emma with Beauty Cubes, for example, you know, they've become an expert in that field because actually they've spent a lot of time looking at all of the ingredients and making sure it's palm oil free and all of those kind of things. So it's really, really, really important to actually work out how you can get your expertise through your product. The fifth and sixth ones are ones that I've spoken about before. So the fifth one is around awareness. So it's, you know, awareness is basically how do you create awareness of your brand and the products and services that you have to offer. And you do that through community. You do that through your brand representation, through the pictures that you post, through the words that you share. Okay, so people are looking to understand what it is that you do. And one of the things that I shared the other day when I was looking at different platforms and different communities was actually using your profile picture, using the banner across the page, using the content within your platform, to use all of those to help generate awareness around your business. And then the sixth one is get involved. You can see my husband, he's just nipped in around the back. So the sixth one is get involved. Now this is fundamentally the most important thing, especially with organic growth. It's how can you think about getting people involved into your community. So if I look at the Kindness Company, for the past 3 weeks, I've been, as you know, giving away a tiny doll for free. And they're just something that I've had and we've got, and they're coming to the end of line because we'll replace them with another new product. So I thought it'd be really nice to give back because so many people have supported the business. What that has done is it has not only grown my group, a brand new group that I hadn't got before. The reach on my page is up to, I think it's around 500,000-600,000 at the moment. And the post reach on my page combined at the moment for this week is 4.5 million. All right. And it was like 3.8 last week, which I know you're all probably thinking I'm a bit nuts. 3.8, 4.5 million, it's still a big number, right? But what I'm trying to show is that actually by doing something and giving back and getting people involved into the community, what they're doing, I've noticed is that there's more comments on my posts. I'm able to engage with a lot more people. So never leave a comment behind. I've been employing that. I've been getting people into the group, inviting them to the group so they can keep having a conversation. You know, it's affected our sales. Our sales have gone up in the last couple of weeks as well, which has been wonderful to see. You know, so it's had an effect everywhere, right? We've had more traffic come to the website because actually it's reaching more people, and so people are actually getting more and more interested in what we're doing. And that's all come from the fact that, you know, I thought one day, let's during February give away a tiny doll, and then invite people into the group so that they're there, so I've got their attention and I can keep talking to them, ask them to comment on my posts so that the post then carry on with the reach, and everyone, you know, gets involved in the spirit of the business. You can also get involved with things, you know, like for example, you might want to do a beach clean activity locally. That might be something fun. Tree planting is another thing. You know, wilding in the spring. You could have a look at how you could do wilding in the spring, which is where they plant lots of wild seeds and things, the butterflies and stuff, on local fields. You can do things like maybe run a challenge, so get people to do something that's related to your product or service, where you showcase your expertise and you're giving somebody something like some knowledge or know-how on how to do something. You know, there are lots and lots of different ways you can get people involved in your community. Giveaway, that's getting people involved. But my advice around a giveaway is to make sure that you find a way to capture that data, whether that's through signing up for a newsletter, whether that's sending them to join a group. You know, get them to do something for the giveaway that actually benefits your business. There is no point. So I had a client who was a jewelers, and they were giving away, like before I came along, you know, thousands of pounds of a diamond ring for events throughout the year. And when I saw it, I went, and how are we capturing the information? They weren't. They were literally just going, yeah, just like and comment here. And so, to be said, what then happened was that when we did eventually run it for Valentine's, which has obviously just passed, they were doing some other things. We had them liking and sharing on different platforms. We had them registering their email addresses. You know, we made them work for that entry because they were going to potentially win, you know, a ring that was worth thousands of pounds. So don't ever worry about kind of asking people to do something. They won't get overwhelmed. If they're invested and they really want the opportunity to actually, you know, win something or be part of your community, they will do it. My only thing as well is, though, and this is a little bit of a contradiction, but balance it with simplicity, right? So try not to make it too complicated, like go here, go there, go follow. You know, they're not going to do that. You know, try and keep it as simple as possible. So go to my website and follow these actions. You know, register your email, come back to my post, and make sure that you comment. That in particular is important because that gives life to that post and enables it to carry on living. That's Facebook, Instagram, by the way. It doesn't matter either of the platforms. So in terms of the community principles, and again, community is a touch points across your business. We've looked at trust, authenticity, relatability, expertise, creating awareness, and getting people involved. Okay, and those last three, so expertise, awareness, getting involved, are something that I talk about an awful lot. Relatability, authenticity, and trust comes through the posts and through the content that you create. And if you're a stalemate and you're not quite sure, because sometimes you're too close to your business, you know, pop some ideas into the group. No one's going to take your ideas because actually they're unique to you, right? I mean, a giveaway is not unique, but the way you run it for your business and what you're giving away is unique to you. So please don't, you know, worry about that. Sharing is caring and all of that. But feel free to just, you know, if you're at stalemate, you know, reach out. Even if you need to message me, then that's fine. But I'm here to help. You know, I know that there are lots of people out there sort of charging lots of money for courses and things around all of this, but I don't want to do that. I'm more than happy just sharing. I am, however, writing an ebook, which I hope will be interesting. We'll see. That's my thought at the moment, an ebook. But yeah, it's just because I basically, you know, I've gone through an awful lot to be able to learn all this stuff. You know, we created, I think I spent around nearly £300,000 on ads to be able to build the platform that I have now, you know, over a course of 5 years. And whilst I've been running the Kindness Company platform organically, you know, in order for me to be able to take advantage of organic growth on my platform, I had to spend that money to get me there. I'm not saying that you have to, because actually when I grew the platform, it was during the early years of Facebook where they were changing things all the time. It's a lot more stable now, which is why you've got people like me now saying, well, look, these are the different things that you need to be trying to do in order to be able to reach more people on your platform. And also, it may feel that they're not responding, but people, they do watch, they do read. I think what we need to do more of is encourage them to comment and like so that we know that they read. But you know, and that's kind of what people call dark social. So they're those stats that you can't measure. But you know, there are ways of doing things. So in the next week or so, I'm going to be having a look at things like chatbots and other sorts of things that you can employ. So each week I kind of just focus on an area. You'll see, and I take that area and I break it out. Yeah. I think that's it really from me. But again, if you've got any questions, then please just let me know. Just pop them down in the post below. And as always, you know, please invite anyone who might be interested. The more the merrier, as I keep saying. All right then, take care. Bye-bye.